Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking to the bro Caleb, who is working a full-time warehouse job to now quitting his job, making 7,000 AUD in his first month of appointment setting. Took him 1 month to learn the skill, 1 month to get to that 7K month, but we're going to break it down in the next 20 minutes.
First full month on the offer, I made 7K, and
Seven K.
that's what got me out of my job. This is it.
Yo, what's good everybody? I've got my boy Caleb here. He's been inside of ABC for the past 4 months now, bro. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, 4 months.
Yeah, perfect, bro. Look, introduce yourself to the people, let them know who you are, and let them know like what your progress has been like since coming in.
Yo, I'm Caleb. I've been in ABC for about 4 months now. Originally was working warehouse. And as of November last year, I quit my job. Doing sales full time, so that's kind of where I'm at the moment.
Yeah, mad, bro. Look, let's jump straight back to where you first started, because obviously, you're in a role now, you're killing it. But back when we first started, bro, I mean, that first month, what was it like initially wanting to get into sales, crack into it, and actually getting to the point where you're at now, bro?
Mm. Yeah, it was full on. It was pretty crazy. Like I was balancing working full time and doing all the shit in my spare time. Obviously first studying and then got the role. So that whole period before I quit my job was just work 7:30 to 3:30, come home, have like an hour break and then do study or working again until I went to bed. So it's pretty cooked, but I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah, 100%. It's a hectic timeline for sure. Like, balancing a full-time job, wanting to do something else it's almost like you're doing sport full-time on the side as well as working a
Mm.
job, bro. So I want to kind of touch on the fact, like, what was it like for you, bro? From an outside perspective looking in, wanting to get into this for how long do you want to get into this for? Like making money online?
But I was looking at sales for probably, well, since February 2025,
Hmm.
and I only got into ABC like end of September.
Mm.
So it was a while.
Yeah, well, like massive timeline there, and obviously, much like myself, I held it off for a bit, bro.
Mm.
What would you say like the biggest things for you were looking from an outside perspective in that kind of held you back from actually taking the action, bro?
Um, I think it was just lack of like urgency.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really have like that drive to be like I have to do this now. And also a bit of certainty as well. Like I didn't know if this shit was gonna work out for me. But it sort of just got to a point where I was like, fuck it. Like, the worst that's gonna happen is it doesn't work and I'm still working in the warehouse. So like there was really, you know, it was no risk for me, really, in terms of like actually trying to do it.
Mm. Do you feel like it was almost, because you saw the two options, and one was stick it out at the warehouse job, keep doing
Mm,
that for the rest of your life, or kind of take a gamble, take a risk on yourself, trust yourself.
mm.
And like the worst that would have happened with that risk that we call it is you would have just ended back up on that same path. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like as in, um, yeah, I mean, like, if I try something and it doesn't work out, the worst that can happen is already what I'm doing right now. So really life couldn't get any worse than that. So to be fair, it was a bit of a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah,
And yeah, I just decided like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
100%, bro. And like, I mean, I was similar to you. I was obviously working a trade and I just I couldn't handle it, and
Mm,
I knew that once I obviously got to that point where, I wanted to try something, but I didn't really know what to do. I was like, well, if I just do nothing, then I'm just going to end up in that exact same spot that I'm already in. So
yeah, exactly.
100% understand what you're saying there, bro. And in saying that, I mean, the warehouse job, let's talk about that. I mean, I don't work a warehouse job myself, but you said
Mm,
you were like that urgent to get out of it, bro. What was that experience like, working up until that point and then, taking that first step?
mm. I mean, I was just looking at the same four walls every day. It sucked. Like I was driving a forky, lifting a bunch of heavy shit, just packing orders, like literally the exact same task every day. And like for a lot of people, that probably didn't sound too bad, but it just messes with your mental. And then you got like truck drivers coming and pick up shit every day, just trauma dumping. just like telling you how much they hate their lives, and it's like, because that's the perfect example of what I don't want to end up like. Like there's more out there. It's just like how do I figure it out?
Mm.
But yeah, that was kind of the tipping point. It got to a point where I was just like, I'm so sick of this. I just wanted a way out.
Yeah, well, in saying that, bro, it's like, do you feel like being in that situation where you wanted to try something else? And I mean, you didn't really know much about sales when you first started, right?
No, nothing.
How do you feel like, that initial feeling of uncertainty, like you said, a bit of fear, like of it not working out? How do you feel like you actually kind of got over that and, got to the progress and get to the point where you're at now?
I think I just figured like, getting into something like sales, it's definitely a performance like skill-based skill to have. Um, and so it's like anything, if you try it on your own, it's going to take a lot longer than if you actually have help doing it. So I figured if I had someone who's been in the game for a while, just had a bit of guidance behind me on like actually how to learn it. I knew I had the work ethic. I knew that I'd make it work. I just needed that like I guess experience behind me. But I just figured, if I had that, like, there's really no reason it can't work out.
Mm. Yeah, so like the two paths that you're realistically presented with, trying anything online. Like, did you try anything else online before getting into sales?
I tried reselling.
Okay.
I did that for like a month. Um, but all my stuff just kept getting taken down from Marketplace.
Mm.
And I didn't really know how to get around that. But at the end of the day, I'm just scamming cunts anyways. I
Yeah.
was just like, whatever, I'll just count my loss. But
Yeah.
yeah, that again, like I didn't, reselling's not like a valuable skill to have. So it wasn't really something that I wanted to pursue any further than I did.
Yeah. Yeah. And like in saying that with reselling versus obviously sales, I mean, there's a bit of sales and real reselling, bare
Mm,
minimum at least. I
yeah.
tried it myself, but the thing with that is, bro, did you feel like, by not having someone there to essentially teach you something else, like the progress would kind of just cap it. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to like break that fourth wall and get into the
Yeah.
next part of that growth.
Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, regardless of what I wanted to do online, I feel like I wasn't really going to get to where I wanted to be unless I had that help. Because it's like, it's so hard to figure out on your own,
Mm.
especially with like the amount of information there is out there on like so many different business models. It's like, what's reputable? What can you trust? And then like how to actually implement that yourself. It's a lot to figure out.
Yeah, 100%. It's the way I always thought of it because I was obviously a similar position to you was I was looking at YouTube videos for like a couple months.
Mm,
And it's almost like, you get all these Lego pieces put in front of you. Like you're meant to put together like the Millennium Falcon, for example. You
yeah.
don't you don't even have like an instruction manual to put it
Mm,
all together. It's kind of like you
mm,
just got all these pieces and you're like, "Oh, okay, just figure it out for myself kind of thing."
yeah.
So in saying that, bro, like do you feel like, the position you're at now, would you have been able to get there like without the help or would have just taken a bit longer?
No, I wouldn't because a lot of the reason why I'm in this position now is because of the relationships I've built through ABC, the networking, um, and then just obviously what I've learned in there.
Mm.
Like none of that would have been accessible if I had just tried to go about this myself. So it's definitely, yeah, it's not something that would have been possible in a way.
Yeah, and it is one of those things where like, anyone can learn these skills through free routes. We're not
Mm,
saying that you can't.
yeah.
It's just like more so the idea that if you're going to go at it by yourself, it's like you've got to expect the failure. It's like
Mm,
anything, even with getting taught, you're going to fail. Like you have
yeah.
to fail to learn kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
bro, what would you say like the biggest lesson is that you've learned by being on this journey for the past 4 and a bit months?
Um, yeah, good question. I think it's bro, just like set standards high for yourself.
Mm.
I think that's one big thing that I've learned is like I've come into ABC, into sales, sort of with these pretty average goals, pretty average expectations. But like bro, if you just put the work in, if you actually hustle, and I was hustling when I was in the warehouse, it's like you really kind of see what's actually achievable.
Mm.
Um, and again, it's like when you have that. that community behind you. You have like all the boys around you. You've got that help. It's like there's nothing really stopping you from getting to that point you want to be at other than yourself. It's more just having the discipline and the work ethic to make it happen.
Without a doubt, bro. I mean, we both know like you working in that warehouse, there was a lot of times where, you text the boys and say, are you running role plays real late or, you're
Mm.
sacrificing sleep, whatever. So without a doubt, you've like definitely worked hard for it. And I just want to highlight as well, because we obviously haven't talked about it, bro. What did you do in your first 1 to 2 months of starting this?
First full month on the offer, I made 7K, and that's what
7K.
yeah, that's what got me out of my job. This is it,
That's nuts, bro.
and that's like in the bank app. So
In your first month on an offer, made 7K in a month. It's just
yeah,
ridiculous. But bro, obviously it wasn't always like that. Now we're at the point where, you're continuing, you're looking forward. I mean, what would you say like your bigger goals, bigger ambitions are for 2026, bro?
right, 30K month, which is obviously so achievable. Like, I mean, I came into ABC thinking if I can make 5K in a month, that'll be crazy. Um, so yeah, just setting the expectations high. 30K a month in terms of income. But yeah, bro, just travel, just fucking enjoy life, eh?
Thailand trip with the boys.
Yo,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Muay Thai training, take that shit seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Just like all this stuff that I wasn't, I didn't have the time for while I was in
Mm.
the warehouse. It's like now I can actually structure my day around like actually doing those things, which is pretty cool.
And I also wanted to touch on that point. You bring up a really good point. Is like, do you feel like, you know, becoming the person that was able to make that 7K a month, like you had to evolve almost your routine, how you looked at yourself, that sort of thing. Like it wasn't just about the money, bro. It was
Mm.
almost like the person you became through the process of getting the money, that byproduct.
Yeah.
What would you say your biggest, I guess, takeaways or biggest hacks you could say to anyone watching this as to getting to that point?
Mm. I think just don't half-ass it. Like, there's no point if you're not gonna give it like everything, like just fucking don't even bother. You know,
Mm.
it's like if you actually want to achieve something, um, like my goal was just get out of the warehouse, and I was just so focused on that. Like it's all I did. Like I sacrificed everything else. Like I wasn't seeing my missus. I wasn't. I was like shut in my room. Wasn't even having dinner with the family. Wasn't like going out with the mates. Like literally everything that I wanted to be doing, I was just willing to sacrifice it just because I knew that this is for a bigger reason.
Mm.
It's like working towards a bigger goal so that I can enjoy doing those things more often. So I was just like, just give it everything,
Mm.
because otherwise, like, you're just delaying your success.
Bro, 100%. I couldn't have said it better myself. That sacrifice is obviously necessary. In saying that, the point before you actually made the start, bro. I mean, I had fears in my head. I thought that this wasn't real, like it wasn't really possible. Like, what were the biggest things that kind of played in your mind before you actually took any action?
I was a bit skeptical at first. I can't lie. I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable with any online stuff. Just because there's that much, courses out there. There's that much online content creators just trying to sell you something. Um, so yeah, it was definitely in the back of my mind. But I think the biggest thing that kind of just like put that away was like seeing so many boys come out of ABC and like making some fucking bread. That's like, if you have that many people like repping the same brand, basically, it's like it's got to be legit. It's not like this one source of information saying like, yeah, this works. But when I've seen like five boys come out of ABC and they're all like traveling and working remotely, making like 10, 20K months, it's like, okay, like, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, it's undeniable. It's like,
Yeah,
if they can do it, like, why can't you? I mean, the thing is, bro, is like you came from a warehouse background. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm as dumb as the next person,
Mm,
not the sharpest
yeah.
tool in the shed, but
Mm,
I feel like a lot of people kind of undervalue themselves and what they can actually bring to the table
mm.
just by giving a little bit of effort and putting
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah. One of the biggest motivators for me was just like, I seen 18-year-olds making hundreds of thousands of dollars, driving like my dream cars, doing all this shit. It's like, bro, if they, whatever they're doing right now, it's just like, for me, it's a lack of knowledge.
Mm.
Fucking hell. For,
That's right, bro.
for
Keep in
me,
mind.
it's just a lack of knowledge,
Yeah.
right? Like you see any successful person, the only difference between you and them is the fact that they've been in the game longer and they know what they're doing. So for me, it was just like figure out how to make money and then just do that like a lot,
Mm.
just like do it to the point where you can't not make money because you're just putting in the work. But yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost insane that like these guys that we see that are so successful, the kids driving the Lambos or the guys just making even 10K a month, which is, considered baby steps in the online
Mm,
world,
yeah.
is like they're no smarter than any of us. They're no
Mm,
smarter than me or you or anyone that's actually watching this video is like they're no smarter than anyone. The only
mm,
thing that separates them from, us or someone that who hasn't taken action is just taking that first step. It is, would you
mm.
say like it's the hardest part?
Yeah, definitely. Because you're like, you're in a position where you're not trying anything. You're, I guess, somewhat comfortable doing what you're already doing. It's like stepping out of your comfort zone into something new, um, and putting something on the line. It's like that is scary.
Mm,
But if you know that you are gonna make it worth it for yourself, then there's really no reason you shouldn't. So,
yeah. And bro, what would you say that biggest lesson is for anyone watching this? What would you say to them, wanting to start this, not really sure, like on the fence about it all, wanting to pick, the free or pay path? Like, what would you say to them, bro?
mm. I think I've seen it a lot, especially the offer I'm on. I talk to a lot of people, and it's like, you know, heaps of people try to go down that free route. I tried going down a free route for a few things, but inevitably you're gonna get stuck, and you're gonna want that guidance down the line. So you may as well just give yourself a head start, and you know, just get into it properly with a set game plan, like, you know, so you know what you're doing. Um, and like that's just gonna fast track your success. Because otherwise you're just delaying it by you're literally setting yourself up for failure. You're putting roadblocks in the middle of the road because that's something you just have to deal with later. It's like get it over and done with at the start. And then you just, one step closer.
Perfect, bro. Well, look, I appreciate the time. I appreciate you joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Caleb. Made 7K in his first month working on his first ever role. But I'm going to leave a link in the description to book in a call with myself if you guys are interested in obviously getting that training. But, bro, thanks for joining us. We'll
All
see you
good,
in the
bro.
next